everyone, and welcome to Team Talk here on Blood Bowl Live. We're here to go through every roster of our favourite tabletop football game. Luke is joining me this week, and we are going to go through the Imperial Nobility team. They were one of the teams you got in the Season 2 starter box, and a team that are interestingly placed, I think, in the world of Blood Bowl. They came in almost looking a bit Bretonian, but now we've got Bretonians. And they've had some changes in this new edition that kind of make you look at them next to humans and go, why would I go for humans? It's a very interesting position that Imperial Nobility have been put in. Luke, they were sold in a starter box, so you would think that for a new team that they would be a good one to start with. But if you are new to Blood Bowl, is Imperial Nobility a team you should consider?
Yeah, so I think so. You may have heard us talk about bash teams and agility teams before. Nobility are kind of somewhere in the middle, which I mean, I refer to them as control teams. I don't know if that's a common thing, but so they have multiple pieces that allow you to basically control the exact position of the board. So there's a lot of stand firm, there's a lot of fend. So you can form lines and hold them relatively well. And you kind of find yourself kind of corralling the opposition's team to where you want them to then open up a blitz, when the time is right. And so you have to be kind of thinking quite far ahead with nobility teams. So I'd say they're probably slightly more complex, but I think if you want a challenge or if agility or bash didn't quite hit it for you, having this kind of unique challenge might be a fun way to play it. So probably slightly more difficult for brand new players. If you've been playing a while and want to try something different, I say they're really good. And I think the changes as of this edition make them basically even better. So yeah, do you want to tell us about the team?
Yeah, let's look at the roster. So your linemen are Imperial Retainers, costing you 45,000. Movement 6, Strength 3, Edge 3, Passing 4, Armor 8, and they come with Defend skill. Which was always a interesting choice for them. But like you say, Luke, being a control team, it's actually a very handy skill. You can have 2 Imperial throwers for 75,000 each, movement 6, strength 3, edge 3, passing 2 now, and they come with Give It a Go, Pass, and Pro. Give It a Go is essentially the new name for running pass. If you're not aware. Um, Pro in addition there. Bodyguards, you still get 4 in this team. Cost at 85,000. Movement 5, strength 3, edge 3, passing 4, armor 9, stand firm and wrestle. In this lineup, you get 2 noble blitzers, 90,000 each. Movement 7, they are quick kind of position in this team. Strength 3, edge 3, passing 4, armor 9, block, catch, and they have gained the pro skill as well. And then you can have a ogre here, costing 140, movement 5, strength 5, edge 4, passing 5, armor 10. Bonehead, Loner, Mighty Blow, Thick Skull, and Throw Teammate. Their re-rolls have been reduced in cost as well. They've come down to 60,000. I think anyone, Luke, looking at this team who maybe played them previously or comparing against the old edition, the huge thing for this team is how much more affordable they have become across the board. The bodyguards have come down quite let's have a look, make sure I get this right. The bodyguards are slightly more, but the blitzers are no, they're less. The bodyguards and the blitzers are less. I've got 2 screens with 2 teams up. So
Cool.
them having come down in value and the rerolls having come down, the team build options here are suddenly kind of opened up a bit.
Yeah, and so that was the thing I struggled most with Nobility. It was so hard getting a team at 1 million to work. And at tournaments at 1.15, it was kind of okay, but you were always left with awkward money. And I think just quickly running over the skills, they've had a lot of buffs, I think. So the throwers gaining pro and passing 2 really opens up that passing game. And the blitzers coming with catch built in already really makes that kind of stretch play a lot more interesting. The bodyguards have lost a point of movement, which might be quite challenging, but they still have that access to strength on primary, so you're going to be able to get guard on them as quick as you can. Blitzers gaining pro is just a flat buff, I think. For when you need it. Until you get dodge, it will help with those dodges. And ogres, I mean, I think GW have messed up the ogres in all of the books, but so the Renegades one lost Mighty Blow. This one has gained mutation on secondary. We don't quite know what's a mistake and what isn't yet, but if they keep mutations, that's kind of hilarious and brilliant.
Yeah, you could see that this video at some point in the future suddenly gains 2 or 3 minutes on the end of it, where we go, oh, just an amendment. There are no mutations on human ogres.
Yeah, I would. I'll assume we don't have mutations, but in the book we do. But anyway, so yeah, and dropping to 60k on rerolls is huge because it means you can get a really solid 1 mil team out, which I can go into now. So for the linemen, we've got 3 of those. A thrower, just taking 1 on this build. 4 bodyguards, 2 blitzers, and the ogre, with then 2 rerolls, comes in at 990. So you get everything on the team bar the extra thrower. You get the big guy, you get the rerolls. Yeah, I think I'm just so impressed with the changes to this team. I think we'll see a lot more players start to pick these up now.
I think one thing that I always find with the nobility team, and it's possibly a small issue that I have with the sculpts, which are they're very detailed, and a lot of the kind of bits to them, like the feathers and stuff, all look very good. I think sometimes they aren't as easy to distinguish between as maybe other teams. So if you are picking up Imperial Nobility, I would say kind of do something to make it nice and clear for your opponents. I think some teams are better than others, and I think Nobility are probably on the end of being a little bit ambiguous between some of the positionals. They're not alone in that. There's other teams that GW do that are the same, and the ones you get in the box as well. It's a odd selection and the way that they're labeled, it's maybe not as clear. So, I guess my guidance to anyone picking them up would be, do something within your kind of design of your team just to make sure your opponent knows what they're coming up against.
Yeah, I'd agree with that massively. Like, so one thing I often see, so the easiest way, which is not easy to tell the difference, is each of the positionals have a slightly different number of feathers in their hat. So blitzers have 4, bodyguards have 3, linemen have 2, throwers have 0. So an easy way you could do that is just paint the feathers slightly differently per positional.
Yeah.
I think I need to at tournaments it's okay because you normally have consistent skills across them and it's quite obvious then. But in league play, yeah, I think I personally need to adjust mine because at a glance you can't tell who is who without kind of having played the team regularly.
Yeah, and to be clear, they're not alone. Like the basic human team, the difference between a blitzer and a lineman is a slightly bigger head fin. So there's a very minor difference, but otherwise they look very similar. So I guess that's just kind of a word of caution. If you come up against them or you are playing them, whatever you can do to make them distinguish. But I think, like I said at the beginning, they're in an interesting position now because they are suddenly a really good passing team with their passing 2 up. The human thrower is only passing 3 up, which I do believe, and I'm just going to check myself immediately, is a change from the previous edition. So the humans were always the human thrower and the human catcher as a combo was always quite a good combination. A passing 2, then a catching 3 with a reroll was always very good. Suddenly, this nobility team have kind of overtaken them with that. They are now the passing 2 with pass and the catching 3 with catch.
And block.
And block on their catchers are much sturdier pieces. So it's an interesting change, and I think suddenly again, like I think a lot of the teams with the third edition, it opens up much more passing options and passing plays, and maybe will make people play a little bit differently or think a bit differently with how many options they've got, which is great for this nobility team. That is it for Imperial Nobility. Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will be back next time for another team from our favorite game. We will see you then.